Hey YouTubers, my name is Frankie Fonzones and I'm going to be starting a new MMA topic forum slash talk show where the true fans can come discuss today's MMA events, shows, fighters, etc., etc. You know, the only person I care to look at these days is Ariel Helwani. I do look at heavy MMA once in a while. There's not too many people out there outside of like Joe Rogan who's talking about the sport, knows what they're talking about, and can do the right interviews or talk to the right people and say the right things at the right time and know what they're talking about. So basically, I just want to get the true MMA fans. We'll have some good discussions, talk about the current fights that are going on, like today, UFC 122, Yushin Okami versus Nate Marquardt. Co-main event is actually Alessio Sakara and Jorge Rivera, which is actually kind of surprising that they would get to co-main event the show, because I didn't feel like they met the standards for a co-main event. But at any rate, the show will be based on your reviews, your comments. I'd like to hear whatever you got to say, good, bad, and I guess right now we can kick off the topics of 122. Nate Marquardt has been gunning for the title. Dana White said that whoever wins this fight, Okami, Marquardt, will get the shot at Anderson Silva. Personally, I mean, I would love to see Okami and Silva, because that's just going to be a great fight right there. But I've been waiting a long time for Belfort and Silva to get in the ring, or excuse me, the octagon, and have the fight of their life. You know, right now I would say Anderson Silva has been and still is my favorite fighter in MMA. I've been following him from the beginning of his career through Pride and whatnot, and I was pretty on the edge of my seat the entire time with my stomach on the floor watching that Son and Silva fight, because I was thinking in my head, you know, finally Silva's got a real fight, a real competitor in front of him, and he's getting his ass kicked, you know. So I was really scared for a minute there that the big mouth Chael Sonnen was going to lock it up and get that belt from him. I do like Chael as a fighter. I think he's an awesome fighter. I didn't appreciate the way he hyped up the fight. There's always a way to hype up fights, but there's ways that you hype up fights and you turn into a dickhead, which is exactly what he did. I mean, he did everything short of pulling the Mike Tyson "I'll eat your children" comment. Or maybe he said worse, but then to find out that he tested positive for steroids afterwards, it just totally blew my mind. You know, here's a guy that talked up this fight, definitely deserved to fight Silva, especially after his Paulo Filho fight in WEC, and he got a little, cheated a bit for that belt. And you know what, it's kind of funny, because watching the tap out with the Silva armbar, and then watching the Sonnen tap out with Paulo Filho, they almost looked a little similar, and it gets you thinking that, you know, hey, maybe Chael Sonnen, when he gives up, likes to go, oh, what, I didn't, and then see how the chips may fall. But without getting off topic here, Nate Marquardt, Yushin Okami, I think it's going to be a great fight. You got two great athletes that are at the prime of their career, and I think they're going to put on a hell of a show. Honestly, I wasn't excited when I saw Alessio Sakara and Rivera on the co-main event. I thought that they could have definitely put somebody else up there to hold that co-main event sponsorship. You know, Sakara is doing okay right now, but these, you know, he's a guy, especially even Rivera, these are guys that did well back between UFC, like, what, 60, 70, 80, around that era, and have kind of fallen off the picture. I know Rivera has just really not been doing great for quite a while. I believe he did lose his daughter in the mix there at some point. You know, my heart goes out to him and his family, but you know, they should be thanking their stars. They're on a co-main event of a UFC event, and it's not even a fight night. It's not a Ultimate Fighter show. It's an actual UFC event, big show. Glad to see it's on Spike too, and I can't thank Dana White, Joe Silva, the Fertittas, supporting the fans and giving back what they've been getting as far as support goes. These free shows, the Spike shows, the Versus shows, the prelims live on Spike. I mean, it's awesome to be able to get these. And then also, and for a lot of people that don't know, Zuffa owns the WEC, and Dana White just announced the merger between WEC and UFC. They're going to bring all those lower weight classes in and make it whole and just make it UFC. But a lot of people didn't know those were two separate organizations. So it'll be great to get them together, but to get all those lower weight classes in there and get these shows more jam-packed, because they got a lot of fighters, and they can be actually putting on more shows than they already have. But to put on these free shows for the fans, I can't express how much I appreciate it, because $50 pay-per-views can start running the wall thin at times. So you know, I love UFC, I love WEC. There's a couple fights I watch here and there on Strikeforce. Sometimes I can't even stand to watch the fights, because it's not that it's the fight is only made by somebody with a big name, but some of the fights, I'm not even going to say some of the fights, to listen, Ronaldo, he can call fights. I enjoyed him from the Pride days. You know, I can't deal with the announcers. You start getting this Joe Rogan fix, Mike Goldberg. They work together so well that you almost get spoiled, and you want them for every fight. I love Joe Rogan. I love the way he comments. I love the way he commentates. I love the way he calls the moves, move for move, fight for fight, punch for punch, blow for blow. He's walking you through the steps of how to put on an armbar, of what he's doing. Watch as his arm slips around the side, and you know he's gonna pull a change and whatnot. You just get spoiled with that, and you start to expect that every announcer should aspire to be as great as Joe Rogan. And obviously Mike Goldberg doesn't know as much as Joe Rogan, but they complement each other like peanut butter and jelly. So it works out great to listen to them, and I'll be happy now that the WEC will be merged with UFC, and then we'll get them, Mike Goldberg and Joe Rogan, on all the shows. When they had the Jose Aldo Faber fight, and they had it on pay-per-view, and had Joe Rogan, Mike Goldberg do it, and then they had Bruce Buffer announce. It felt right. It felt like the WEC belonged with the UFC.